This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Raindrops all over our Flooring America Weather iNet cameras. That's Danville right now, as you can see. It's also a little foggy out there for us tonight. We've got fog that is reducing visibility levels down to, well, less than a mile in a few spots out there, so definitely be careful. You can see Danville there down to about 1 mile. Rain also moving back in, another huge area of that rolling in as we go throughout tonight, and it's about to get heavy. Big temperature difference. Look at Effingham, 56. Compare that to the 42 degrees over in Springfield. It is going to be kind of messy out there tomorrow. What to expect? Areas of fog, heavy rainfall, and gusty winds. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what it's going to be like hour by hour through tomorrow. And look at that. Rain, wind, and temperatures falling all day. More about that coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Hate crimes against Asian Americans are spiking, so the U of I is making sure students know they're safe. Plus, how do you get a stimulus check without an address or bank account? Who's helping the homeless get theirs? And losing weight can be an uphill battle. How one athlete is inspiring others to stick with it.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
To allow all of our residents to find safety and community and joy in who they are and where they come from.
That's the goal, but some in central Illinois are worried about hate crimes after a shooting in Georgia killed 8 people. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. Paul is off tonight. Today, Governor Pritzker addressed the shootings. They happened last night in Atlanta. Most of the victims were Asian women. The suspect claims this was not a hate crime, but police say it's too early to rule out if it was or wasn't. WCIA 3's Bryce Beeman joins us live in the newsroom. Bryce, the U of I also addressed this today.
With a big number of Asian students at the university, they said they want to make sure students feel safe on and off campus.
This mass shooting is an attack on all of our communities.
A gunman opened fire at 3 spots in Atlanta, Georgia, killing 8 people. 6 of them were Asian women.
Unfortunately, this is nothing new to our society. This is nothing new to U.S. historical cultures either, right? And it's something that several Asian American communities have had to deal with for centuries.
Over the past year, 3,800 hate incidents have been reported by Asian Americans.
I have not necessarily seen an increase in incidents on campus. Not to say they're not happening. It just means that we're not seeing reports.
Illinois stands with the Asian American and Pacific Islander community. Ours is a welcoming state, today and always.
The University of Illinois has more than 8,000 Asian American students. So even though the shooting happened over 600 miles away, people feel the impact of it right here in Champaign.
We'd be hard-pressed to believe that it's not having an impact on them. So we're trying to find different ways to make sure that we're providing them with the support they need.
Shauna Patterson-Stevens, the Associate Vice Chancellor at the university, says she wants students to feel safe on campus. But it's hard when hate is happening off campus and on social media.
It's definitely impacting our students, and we're trying to make sure that we offer them the opportunities to think through what it means to be protective of their psychological and physical space when it comes to those things.
The university wants students to not only feel safe on campus, but also living in this state and this country.
We believe in the ability to live without fear of hate.
Patterson-Stevens says another step to ending hate is by education. The university has recently done education on and around anti-Asian sentiment and how it's related to anti-racism sentiment. They want to educate students and the community about other cultures. In the newsroom, I'm Bryce Beeman, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Bryce, thank you. The university has worked with several partners across campus, including the Asian American Cultural Center. They're hosting an event April 9th. The university also meets with groups in campus safety and security bi-weekly to ensure student safety. We have an update on a Springfield police officer accused of misconduct. State police say he's been indicted on more charges by a grand jury. 26-year-old Taylor Staff is now facing misconduct, residential burglary, and criminal sexual assault charges. Staff was originally arrested in February after he was accused of inappropriate contact against 3 separate victims. State police say the new charges are not related to his original ones. A family is suing the Blue Ridge School District. They say the district allowed sexual harassment and abuse to repeatedly happen on a school bus. A lawsuit says a 14-year-old boy was allowed to sit next to a 7-year-old girl with Down syndrome, put her on his lap and fondle her. The buses had surveillance cameras and aides were supposed to be sitting with the girl. The girl's parents didn't find out until police told them about their own investigation and charges.
The one place that parents want to think their children are safe is school. It's a school bus. And in this situation, it was anything but, because the actions of the school district and the people that were charged with the responsibility of protecting this young girl.
The district says it's not commenting until it receives the complaint and has instructed staff not to talk to us. New at 10, crews responded to a car crash tonight at the corner of Wood Duck Lane and North Market in Champaign. A car hit a pole, taking it out completely and landed on its side. First responders had to extricate 2 people. One went to the hospital but is expected to be okay. Now for the latest on the coronavirus, the state announced more than 1,600 new cases. Another 17 people have died. The positivity rate still hasn't moved from 2.6%. Regional positivity rates are even lower, with Region 3, the area in red, at 1.4% and Region 6 in yellow at 2%. Vaccination rates continue to stay steady, with roughly 102,000 given daily over the last week. 1.6 million people in Illinois are fully vaccinated, and over 4 million doses have been given so far. People are starting to get their stimulus checks, but one group in need of that extra money, those without a home. And that's difficult to get the money without an address or a bank account. So Champaign County Healthcare Consumers is stepping in to help. They say most people who did not receive their stimulus money need to register with the IRS, even if they're not required to file taxes. The group says they can help people without a computer or a phone get it all figured out.
They can use an address, such as a post office box if they have one, or they can, many people just use the address of the shelter where they are staying.
She says they've been able to help a few people so far. We have their contact information on our website. Several places across central Illinois are hiring, but they say they can't find people who want a job. Some restaurant owners think people receiving unemployment have lost their motivation to go back to work.
The government's made it too easy. Just basically all the stimulus money and then the extra money on the unemployment and then extending the unemployment for people that have just been on unemployment. They make more money to stay home than work.
He says they've posted ads on social media and have not gotten applications, but they're hoping to hire more people before summer. Here's new information. As the city of Decatur waits to find out if it can keep its metropolitan status, some people have asked why other cities might be okay. The government is looking at raising the metro status requirement from 50,000 to 100,000. Champaign has roughly 90,000 people, Urbana 42,000, bringing that metro area well over 100,000. Same goes for Bloomington Normal. An old building will be coming down in Vermilion County. Tilton has issued a permit to demolish the rest of the GM Central Foundry plant. The mayor says they are working with someone to move into the property east of the plants. He says he's also trying to bring more businesses to the community. Bethany Fire Protection District is making changes to keep you safe. Since January, the fire chief has been working full-time. He used to be there on a volunteer basis. The chief says this change will provide better service and allow for paramedic coverage during the day. New tonight, an educator in Urbana was named a Teacher of the Year. That honor comes from the Illinois Head Start Association. Jennifer Feeney is a pre-K teacher at RPC's Early Childhood Education Center. She's the first member of that program to receive the award. Some got to see a St. Patrick's Day performance today at the grocery store. Watch this. Harvest Harvest Market in Champaign brought in a troupe from Muhammad. These are the Shamrock Dancers. They went around town today to spread some St. Patrick's Day cheer and maybe some luck of the Irish at the same time. Suing has won a lot of awards, but this one might be his biggest yet. Plus, working out was probably the last thing on many people's minds during the pandemic. But one athlete was determined to stay active.
Well, our weather today, boy, it was pretty active for us, that's for sure. And it's about to get even worse.
Cool. I've said that a few times today.
Yeah.
Cool, Kevin.
That's all
Sounds good.
That's all she can say is, cool. Yeah, we're going to see wind pick up. We're going to see a bunch of rain. And we're still dealing with that fog out there tonight. Recap today. Actually, the high of 50 was right on the money. Problem is it's about to go down. Rain, wind, and maybe even snow coming up.